Philadelphia News, team of my heart.
You ever feel like your team's just one smart decision away from turning the corner? And at the same time, one expensive mistake from setting everything back again? Well, that's where you find yourself right now. Because the Sixers just made a bold move that could define the next few seasons. And it's all centered around one name. You're not supposed to guess right away. But you will. Just pay close attention. And when it hits you who it is, I want you to drop it in the comments and tell me exactly when you figured it out. All right, here's the truth. The Sixers are about to pay. Maybe overpay. Maybe smart. Maybe desperate. That's what you have to decide. Because Philadelphia has its eyes set on keeping one of the most explosive perimeter weapons they've had in recent memory, someone who, unlike past role players, actually pressures the rim, shoots the three, and doesn't get hunted on defense. A rare breed, right? But that kind of player, they don't come cheap, and you know it. Now I want you to imagine this. You've just come out of a season where spacing was a problem, rim pressure basically non-existent when Maxey sat. You remember how lifeless the offense got. No cuts, no bursts, no spark. And then out of nowhere, someone steps up and starts giving you both, slashing and stroking it from deep. Off ball, on ball, strong side, weak side. Doesn't matter. Suddenly, your team's offense breathes again, feels alive. And now, that guy wants to get paid. Heavy. So here's the pain. You've already lost a ton of ground. You missed the playoffs. And Byatt's knee is on a timer. And even though you finally paired him with a star in Paul George, you still can't afford to hemorrhage young, ascending talent. You've been down that road too many times. You let it slip once, and it'll be another 5 years of what could have been. That's what's on the line here. And you feel that, don't you? Now, you're probably thinking, well, if he's that important, just pay the man. I get you. But that's the trap. Because the number being whispered behind the scenes, $25 million a year. Let that sink in. That's not role player money. That's starter plus money. That's you better produce every night money. And you have to ask, is it worth it? Will he live up to that? Can Philly afford to roll those dice when the cap space is already dancing with two superstars and a young core? And this is where it gets real tricky. Because you know the backcourt now runs deep. Maxey is your all-star engine. McCain just arrived with confidence and pedigree. Edgecombe's raw but bursting with upside. And yet, this guy, the one we're not naming, yet, he fits. He completes it. He's like the last piece of a puzzle you didn't even know was unfinished. Coach Nick Nurse sees it. That three-guard lineup potential, that's not just talk. It's vision. And when a coach like Nurse is quietly fighting to keep someone in the system, it means something. You've watched his rotations before. You know he's not easily impressed. So when he leans in, you pay attention, and still, the money looms. The qualifying offer was just the start. It's the Sixers' way of saying, we're not letting you walk for free. But it also opens the door for someone else to come with an even bigger offer. And suddenly you're stuck matching a deal that changes everything about your flexibility. And if you don't match, you're left watching him cook in another jersey while you explain to yourself why the team didn't pull the trigger. And let's not forget what else you might lose in the process. With that much cap going toward keeping this guy, someone else on your radar, maybe someone like Guerschon Yabusele, might be gone. Unrestricted, unprotected, and underfunded. A casualty of keeping the backcourt intact. That hurts. Because you saw what he brought. Physicality, toughness, versatility. But this front office is making a choice. It's a high wire act. And you are right there watching it unfold. One move. One contract. One bet on talent. And all of it rides on the belief that this player isn't just good, he's vital. That he'll grow into the number on that check. That when the postseason hits, he'll still be on the floor. making plays, not riding pine. So here's the promise. By the time we're done with this video, you're going to see exactly why this guy is worth the risk, or why he might just be the move that costs you a real shot at contending. But first, I want you to guess. Who's the player Philly is doing all this for? Think you know? Don't say it out loud. Wait for the clues. And when it clicks, tell me in the comments the exact second you realize who it was. Let's keep going. All right. You stuck around. That tells me you care about this team as much as I do. So now we keep going, and things get even more serious. Because if what's happening behind the scenes continues down this path, you could be looking at the defining turning point of the Sixers offseason. And it's all centered on a player the front office believes could be part of the next championship core, if they're willing to pay the price. See, this isn't just about keeping a nice young piece on the bench. No, this is about identity, culture, fit. Because for years now, you've watched Philly bring in shooters who can't dribble, defenders who can't score, creators who disappear under playoff lights. But this guy, he brings a balance, two-way play, real edge. He's not flashy, and that's what makes him perfect for the city. He plays with grit, with poise. He knows how to make you feel like every possession matters. And yet, here's where I need you to be real with me. How far would you go to keep a guy like that? Would you hand over $25 million per year for a player who hasn't been the first or second option yet? That's the real debate, and it's happening in front offices, group chats, and comment sections across the Sixers world. Because you know this franchise can't afford more mistakes. Not now. Not with Joel Embiid running out of prime years, and the East getting more competitive by the day. What makes this even more tangled is what's brewing around the league. Other teams see the same thing you see. A strong, developing guard who's just 25 years old. Who's athletic enough to guard up a position. Who's not afraid to attack the basket or pull up from deep with confidence. These guys don't sit on the market long. And if someone throws a massive offer sheet his way, the Sixers will have to options match it or lose him. And if they match, that money's locked in. You'll feel it in every roster decision for the next few years. Here's where the situation could turn. If Philly overpays, they lose flexibility. Depth becomes a problem again. That affects everything: spacing, lineups, rest nights, even trades. And you know how crucial those bench minutes were last year when Maxey needed help and there was nobody to take pressure off the ball. If the team doesn't balance the books carefully, they could end up stuck again. You feel that fear. I know you do, because you've lived through it too many times. Now some fans, maybe even you, think this is a no-brainer. Lock him up. Don't overthink it. But that's exactly the gamble, because you can't unsign a deal. And we've been burned before, overcommitting to the wrong guy, falling for potential that doesn't pan out. You remember those contracts, right? You remember the disappointment. You remember feeling stuck and watching better options pass by while our hands were tied. But this guy isn't like the others. There's real momentum here, real growth. He's not chasing the spotlight. He just wants to win. He's the kind of player that Nick Nurse can trust. The kind you can believe in, not because of hype, but because of impact. Because he makes the team better when he's on the floor. And that's rare. And that brings us to the other domino, Guerschon Yabusele, an unrestricted free agent. A bruiser. A guy who might walk away because of this decision. If Philly gives everything to the guard, Guerschon might be gone. And you have to ask, is this the right trade-off? Would you sacrifice frontcourt toughness and rotation depth to lock down the backcourt? Look, the organization has made it clear they want to keep this player. He's in the plan. He fits. But wanting and affording are two very different things in today's NBA. And as much as you want to believe it'll all work out, this team has been here before. Great talent, tough choices, and tight budgets. The question is, do they finally get it right? So now you've heard it, the tension, the stakes, the potential reward, and now the name. You earned it? Quentin Grimes. That's the man the Sixers are putting faith and possibly $25 million a year into. A trade brought him here. But it's you, the fan, who will carry the emotional weight of what happens next. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think Quentin Grimes is worth that kind of money? Or is this just another risky overpay waiting to happen? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you made it this far, comment the word hungry, because that's what this team has to be if they want to win a title. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss another update, especially the ones that hit hard like this one, because Sixers news never sleeps, and neither do the questions this team keeps throwing your way.